Welcome to Behind Them Sticks. This is your boy Ham Solo. I'm with my guy Timdog. How you doing today, bud?
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Just like I say in like all of my episodes, I swear I say I'm absolutely fantastic every time. But
Good.
it is just is what it is, man. I've been playing a crap ton of Forza, and dude, man, it's just such a good game. I cannot put that thing down. Already over level 150. Where are you at?
Not that. I'm like a 25, I think. I mean, 150 is with the big boys. That's you probably put in what? Well, how many hours have you put in that to get that level? That's like 30 hours, right?
Ooh, it has to be something of that. I'll check real quick because I'm kind of curious about that. Here, just a second. I'm pulling it up right now.
That's a lot.
He said that's a lot. It is what it is, man. I mean, that's what happens when a game is good, you know? I mean, you can't put it down. As of right now, I have... I don't think this is right. I think Quick Resume is capping a little bit. It says 2 days and 8 hours and 51 minutes. So,
Basically,
I mean...
you haven't left.
Yeah, it's pretty much saying that I've been playing since the game dropped.
Yeah, you probably have like 30. What would you say, just roughly, of you playing and concentrating playing?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say probably about 30 hours would be fair.
That's big.
But yeah, man, it like when I go to because you know how you can select each tab to see what you want to do, whether it's a race or a speed zone or a speed trap. I go to the new tab and there's nothing on my entire map.
Nice.
There's nothing there. Yeah, man, I've seen all the roads. Man, it's just so weird. In the Series X, like, I'm not trying to cap for Xbox or anything, but it's so fast with that game in particular that once I'm done with one thing, I'm already doing something else, and I already got a plan, and I'm, like when I was getting all the boards, like I just was fast traveling everywhere and then studying the layout of the land and how am I going to ramp and get that, like it's just so much calculation before you even really even get to the match sometimes. So you're just thinking ahead constantly, man. It's such a good game. But anyways, man, I am really happy to have you on the show. Been kind of waiting to talk to you for quite some time. I was expecting to talk to Fonzarelli a little while ago, but he ended up, I think he's a little under the weather.
Yeah, he is.
And he was a little busy at work. So, I mean, he has a whole lot of life going on right now. So I did throw him a message earlier saying, I hope you're feeling all right and yada, yada, yada. Because I was watching RDX, was it yesterday, I believe?
Yeah, he's sick.
So, yeah, I just definitely wanted to throw out a little get well because getting sick nowadays is terrifying. So just in case somebody watching this doesn't know you at all, what gaming and social platforms are you on so people can either contact you or follow you to keep up on what you do?
Well, on Twitter, that's my mainstay, xCloud Timdog. That's basically where you can contact me if you want to talk to me or follow or see what I put out there. Other than that, on Twitter, on Xbox, it's the same thing, xCloud Timdog, same spelling. So it's pretty easy to find. I am on PlayStation Network. I think it's Timdog76 with 2 G's. So it's Timdog76 with 2 G's. I'm waiting.
Kind of like Fallout.
Yeah. I'm waiting to get a PS5, but as you guys know, it's impossible. And that's pretty much it. I don't know what my Nintendo code is. I am on the Switch, though. I have it. I just, if I go mobile, I'm usually with xCloud.
Right. That's hence why the name is what it is.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, and plus, I mean, I don't know how many people. It's fairly rare from at least the friends list that I have of people that have Switches. Excuse me. Not a whole lot of them play online that I know of. So it just kind of is what it is. So yeah, definitely awesome platforms for sure. What are you playing right now?
Well, as we discussed, Forza Horizon 5 Loving it. I've been playing about 2 hours a night. I've gotten it. I'm off tonight, so after this, I will hopefully put like 3 to 4 hours in. I'm a level 25, I believe. Just having a lot of fun with it. I had played before that. I was in the midst of playing Far Cry 6, which I was really enjoying as well. So I have to get back to that. And I also picked up Guardians of the Galaxy that I want to play, and I also picked up Vanguard, which, even though it's getting like mid reviews or whatever, I want to play the campaign just to test it out. I always kind of try to play a COD campaign. If it grasps me, then it's great. If it doesn't, it's like, oh well. But yeah, I have a huge backlog. But right now, Forza Horizon is the definitely shining game right now. It's just so, like we said, it's so accessible, so fast to play, and it's just sitting there in quick resume. It's just like you hit it and then you're into it, and then 2 hours later you're still playing it. It's the way that game goes.
Yeah, it's crazy how much speed with like driving in the game. You're going fast, you're moving around fast, loading fast, but you're putting so much time into it.
Yeah, so
It just
it's
bleeds
crazy.
your day, man. It just bleeds your day away, man. And that is what has been happening. I've been staying up since till like 3, 4, 5 in the morning playing that game
Wow.
just because I just can't stop, man. Like it just grabbed my throat, and it's just like doing some Mortal Kombat shit to me. But anyways, moving on. This is an interesting question. I'm really excited to kind of hear what you got to say. Why is gaming so important to you, my man?
Well, I saw this question pre-question. You gave me questions, and I really thought about it. And I'm thinking, like, why does gaming make me happy? And I always kind of think about it like you're always chasing that feeling that you had as a kid, whether it was opening a new console or playing that game for the first time that you fall in love with. And I think as a gamer, I'm sure that you could you know can like relate. Like you get a certain feeling, like there's that feeling of euphoria or that happiness that gaming can bring to you. And for me, that's what, like, I'm always chasing. I'm always chasing that feeling of being wowed and taken back by the technology. I came up when video games was literally Atari 2600 arcades, like, and I just always was impressed with the technology of it all, and I'm a big tech guy, so it just all encompasses everything. And like I said, it's just that feeling, like when I played Yakuza Like a Dragon, which was my game of the year last year. I remember those times playing the game, and I remember the scenes and stuff, and I remember the feeling I got. And those are the type of things that I cherish. Like, I love when a game can take you that in, and, like, whether it, like, be Ichiban and saying something funny, or just an epic fight that you just had, that you beat like level 26s and you're a level 25, and you beat like these crazy as in Like a Dragon, you perceive, as a superhero, you perceive things differently than you would if you were just a normal person. When you play the game, you'll understand. So there were like Brainiac guy, there was like so many guys. I just remember playing the game and just falling in love with it, and that's what really steers me in. The social aspect is very nice, but for me, gaming's always been more personal. To myself, when I go on, I don't want to like be jumping in with friends all the time, although I do, but I like that me time, like just the game, just me, and just being into it, whether it be Resident Evil 8 or these games that can take you to a certain place. that's what I look for. That's what keeps me coming back, and that's what makes me, excited for the future. Is and you can become uh like one with the game. Like I'm sure you understand what I'm saying, and just also just the good feelings of just getting a new console and putting it together, and just everything about it is just passion. I love it.
All right, so yeah, that was awesome, man. Really good response to that, and for me to say back to you, like, yeah, I understand that feeling of like just kind of just doing things your own way in video games, and the kind of escapism that you can get with it's just you and whatever story is put out in front of you, and you're making it work only the way that you know how to. So like I
Well
totally
said.
understand with what I totally understand what you are portraying back to me. Really like that.
Well, like
Um,
like I said, it's. I always felt like, yeah, gaming social and everything, and that's fine. But for me, when I really enjoy it the most is when it's just me video gaming the world. You know what I mean? And there's no distractions. That's the way, that's the way I enjoy most playing. Some people can play and they can play at a real high level. Like my problem is that, and maybe it's just the way I'm wired. When I go on chats with people, and we're in the room, I can't concentrate on two things. I'm usually either concentrating on the conversation going on the party chat, or the game. I can't do both. It's very hard for me. I have to play something like really mindless. But yeah, like I love the what, like I was the Yakuza. If anybody has not played that game, Yakuza Like a Dragon, uh, it's on Game Pass. Just give it a try. It might grasp you. It's very hard. A lot of grinding, but it's really a great experience if you get into it.
I really wanted to get into that game, but like something didn't feel right because I never played any of the other Yakuzas at all, and like that kind of made me feel like maybe I'm hopping into this too late, or like, I mean, it's really pretty. All of the Yakuzas are really pretty games,
Yeah.
especially like the cutscenes in the game are like bar none, like super pretty and thought out and made really well. But like I was really, because I got my Series X, I got my PS5, I got my PC. Like
Hmm.
I want to push my material that I got. I don't really want to play something that
Right.
was made back in like 2015 or something like that.
Right.
So I just don't know if that's a game that you can hop in so late or
It's
not.
it's a game that if you're gonna enjoy, you have to put a crazy amount of hours in. I mean, you're listen, as you show, you can definitely do that, but you would have to get hooked onto it. It definitely, for me, it took a little time to get into it, but when I did get into it, it's like then it was like off. Like then it was like we just hit it off. But I was just like, oh my god, this game is just amazing. It's funny, and then it went on. But it's definitely a good game. But like you said, you could I could see it because it almost happened to me, where you play a little of it, you say, yeah, it's pretty, but it's not for me, because there's so much other stuff that's out there that if it doesn't catch you, a lot of times it gets put to the proverbial back burner or the backlog. You know what I mean? Which is
Yeah.
okay, but that's what happens.
I just picture like a person falling into a void screaming no when you put a game into the backlog, man. That's just the way I kind of look at it, because no game ever wants to hear that it's the backlog.
Yeah.
You want to be the current game. But anyways, what has drawn you to like creating your content? I mean, I see you all the time on RDX with Dealer, and
Right.
I've seen you on plenty other podcasts where you'll feature and talk to them. Like
Right.
what draws you to do that?
Well, that part is the community. Like, you're a good guy. You came out to me. You're respectful. I'd never. I'm the type of person to think I'm above anybody, or, because I have so many followers that why should I give people the time? And there are people like that. I hate to say that, but there are people like that. I've known them. But my whole thing is that, like, I'm just a person just like you, and I'm no better. All I did was tweet about games and Microsoft and stupid console wars and stuff like that back in the day, and that's the way I got my following. Was that it was basically fighting with these Sony fans who hated Xbox, who hated everything, and they try to always crap on it because Xbox wasn't popular. And I was always that guy that was like, hey, well, no, wait a minute here. What about your space? What about what about your things? What about you do that? So I was always somebody that would,
kind of holding the mirror up against them,
right, and just taking it to them. And that's how I got my people noticed me, whether it was for Microsoft or whether it just be people, just I would say fans, or just people that I interacted with. And I always try to be genuine, and I always try to come off nice, even though, like, I can be somebody who, like, could be a real dick. If you're being a dick, I could be a dick back, and I could take it to you. And I'm a New Yorker. That's just the way I am. But for the most part, I don't take it to heart. I have a lot of respect for the gaming community, even the people that I don't share the same opinions with. I'm still friends with them. I try to be lighthearted about it. Definitely not like when I first came out to the scene. I was a little bit. I just didn't think that anything that I said really mattered, just because I had like who cares? Like, just say whatever. But as time went on, I realized that I have people that follow me, and I have people that kind of say, hey, he's a good guy. Just watch myself. And I did that, and just overall, that's where I come in. I've just drawn friendships and acquaintances and relationships through Twitter and gaming, and it's blowing up right now. Like, and I'm just I am grateful to the fans and the people that talk to me. But at the end of the day, I'm no different than anybody else. I'm just somebody who put a lot of time into it. It's like I told you pre-show. I don't know. I see you do a good job. You're professional. If you want to go further, all you have to do is stick with it. And you're talking to somebody who's been on forums and chats since 2007. So,
wow,
like, nobody knew about me in 2007.
that's like 15 years ago. Like,
Yeah, and I just never stopped. That you'll see there's a lot of these people, I call them fly-by nights. They come onto Twitter, they're big for a little, and then they think that's always going to sustain, or it's not. It doesn't work like that. It works like hard work. Sure, there's some guys that just blow up, but hard work pays off. But you just got to stick with it through the tough times, ebbs and flows of everything. If you stick with it, I firmly believe that you could go places. You know what I mean? And I've seen content creators like Rand. When Rand came onto the scene, I remember him asking me, what should I do? I said, make it do this, do that. I used to give him pointers, and now he's, some of these people make careers out of it. I'm not saying he's making a career out of it, but they make enough money where you could debate, hey, do I want to just be a full-time creator and put my whole all to this, or do it halfway and work? You know what I mean? That's how big you could become with this. You could actually make a lot of money.
That's interesting that you say that. I mean, my lady wants me to really go after it, like, and I feel very fortunate to have somebody that, like, cares enough about what I want to do and is willing to be like, hey, yeah, you should try it. And, like, to be real, like, I've always had, a job and everything, just like a regular person. I have a new job that I'm starting because I hurt my back at my previous job. I was an indoor skydiving instructor for the last like 3 years. So I was teaching people how to fly and everything like that. And yeah, it sounds crazy, but that's what I did for a living. And like I'd hold people in the wind, give them hand signals, try to teach them how to try to teach them how to be stable with their own body. But after doing that for so long, and you know, having a few bad classes where you know you'd be holding on to somebody that didn't listen to anything that you were saying, because you know, it just is what it is, and you can't expect everybody to be good at what you're telling them to do, or you can't expect everybody to give a damn about what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? So it just was what it was. I brought the person into the wind. I ended up, you know, hurting my back. The person was like a really big person, the same, a bit bigger than me, and I'm not a small dude. I'm like 260. So like, if they're bigger than me and I'm holding them in 100+ mile an hour wind and they're sinking like a hard rock, I'm like doing everything I can to like keep us from like flying into a wall, while also like trying to keep them from just like slamming onto the net. So like, yeah, like just putting my body through the rigors. And yeah, I got a new job that I'm starting here at the beginning of December, but yeah, my lady is like, I don't know, like if you don't like the job that you're gonna start, like just keep doing what you're doing, talking to people and bringing people together. Like people are gonna like that stuff eventually, and like you're doing other people a favor by you're essentially promoting other people. And I was like, yeah, well, I mean, I like conversating, I like talking to people, I like meeting new people. So this is like easy for me. But like other people are like, man, that's really cool. You could go somewhere with that. And I'm just like, I'm just having fun. I don't know. If it goes somewhere, that'd be dope.
It takes time. It takes time, but you know what? You have a good attitude, and like I said, it depends on how far you want to take it, and you know, or whatever. If you just want to just be like it's just to be talking, that's too cool, too. But like, there's always like my opinion is. Just my opinion in general is like I told Rand, or even other content creators, make money, you know, like make it fun, but you know, you can make money, you know what I mean? Make your videos, whether it's every day, you could do a gaming news update or an Xbox update. Believe it or not, it pays off, and it's not always the content. It's a lot like the YouTube, you know, the algorithm, they want you to put up like 3 videos a week, you know what I mean? So like if you want to be a YouTuber, I would say 3 videos a week, same duration, and put them at the same time, like Monday, Wednesday, and they like consistency like that. Like I've seen Zorker, he's on RDX, he does that, and he's done very well. Like you know what I mean? I've seen people, you know, just be very professional about it, and that too, you know, you could definitely start to make money. It takes time though. I'd say like even for Rand and all those guys, it took like a year of just start heady work, and then you know, then sponsorships come and stuff like that. You could, you know, for me personally on the content creation, if I retire from where I work, which could happen in the next 4 years, let's say, I am going to look into do content creation, something like you know, a show a week, and you know, something on YouTube, because I know I have following, I know I could make a good show, and I also know that I could probably profit off of it. But right now, that's what I'm not looking to do that right now for a couple of reasons, but that's my plan. I do one day would like to come onto like a YouTube show and have call-ins if that's possible. It would be just like something like me and just myself, and maybe a technical person that helps me. As far as like phone calls and stuff like that, and you know, split it down the middle, whatever type deal.
That sounds pretty interesting, and I know I'd be interested in checking it out. let's move on. The next kind of question I'd like to ask is what like your most memorable moment in gaming would be.
I saw this question. It's an easy one. I finished Halo 5 with Phil, Rand, Southbound.
When you say Phil, who are you talking about?
Phil Spencer.
That's insane.
So yeah, so I finished Halo 5. We played for about 4 hours. We were on the last mission. That stupid, whatever, that boss guy. I hated that guy.
The guy that shows up like 7 times.
Yeah, you gotta like hit him in the back of the head.
Yeah, dude.
Whatever.
Oh my god. Don't get hit by that incinerator either.
Yeah, so yeah, I remember the night, and we were all just blown away because like we were all just playing like gamers, and there was nothing like, there was not like, oh Phil, can you give me a reveal, or it was just gamers, and it was a special night. I remember Rand and I were talking to like 6 in the morning, be like, I can't believe we just played with Phil and we just finished Halo 5. And that's how I finished Halo 5 for the first go around. I went back and played it again and finished it on my own. But the story really was shoddy. And I'm hoping this next Halo kicks it off.
Yeah, the story had a lot of like holes in it, is what it felt like. Me and my buddy Matt Likes Games that I had on the very first episode of this show, Behind Them Sticks. He has his own like take on on his YouTube channel of why like Infinite pretty much like won't be like Halo 5. Like it's gonna be like
probably
way
right.
Better. Yeah, he's a big time Halo fan. His whole profile picture and everything is like Master Chief and stuff like that. He loves Halo. But yeah. Man, we played in the flight together and everything. I swear he played every single flight for every single hour. It was insane.
Yeah, there are Halo fans are like, I consider myself, Halo's my favorite game, my favorite franchise, but I consider myself a Halo fan, but I'm novice as whatever, amateur when it comes. There's the lore that people like have all these little stories and this and that everyone knows every little thing, and then there's gamers like your friend that just first of all, they kick your ass so badly that you don't even want to play multiplayer because they're that good, and they just play the game nonstop, and they're just unbelievable players.
We were playing the campaign and it was like I could not get in front of him. Like he was always leading the way everywhere we went, and I was like, dude, I know this level. Why can't I get in front of this dude? But whatever, like it just made it fun to play as well because I know I didn't really have to worry about a whole lot. I just kind of hung back and just killed a bunch of people. Yeah, it was along for the ride pretty much. But I do like Halo. Halo is a really dope game. But anyways, moving forward, I am gonna ask you this awesome list that, or not list, but this awesome question that I usually ask everybody. Let me pull it up just one second. All right, so the question I would like to ask you is, or it's not really a question, it's more like a game. So without overthinking at all, when I say the console, you say the name of game that comes to your mind like instantly.
Okay.
All right. I'm sure you read that question and you're just like, okay.
Yes. No, I knew that. I knew it was gonna be something like
this. Yeah. So, how deep in the bag should I dip my hand? Like, what was your first console that you ever played?
Atari 2600.
Oh yeah, so I can reach in the bag then. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's start out with Atari.
Pitfall.
You went for like the first game pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's go with what is that called? Panasonic 3DO.
Wow, Road Rash, one of my favorite. That was my. I was a Trip Hawkins fan, but Road Rash was the game that I thought was like photorealistic, and I love the 360. I spent $700 on that console.
You like the 3DO?
Huge fanboy. Trip Hawkins, Jex. I mean, I would say Road Rage was my game because I played it the most and I think about it the most. But Jex was really the iconic character of that console. That was another. He was. I thought he was gonna be huge. Remember Jex?
Dude, no, I don't.
Jex was like a little lizard. He was
Oh,
a,
the lizard game. Yeah, the dude
yeah,
that didn't he have like a suit on or something like
yeah,
that?
yeah. That's Jex.
Yeah, dude. That was on the 3DO?
Yes, it
I
was
did
made
not
by
know that
Crystal
was on the
Dynamics.
I didn't know that was on Panasonic 3DO.
Yep.
That's insane. Um okay, Sega Genesis.
Shinobi.
Ooh, good one. Um let's go a little bit forward. N64.
Super Mario.
Super Mario. Okay, yeah, very simple. I thought you were gonna say Superman.
No, I mean, honestly, I'm very. I was very. I like Super Nintendo, but that was my cousin's gig. I was a Sega dude.
Yeah, me too, man. Road Rash 2 was my favorite Sega
Yeah.
game. Yeah, but anyways, moving on. Let's go back to Dreamcast.
Oof. Dreamcast. I hate to say this, but the game that ties me into that Dreamcast the most is NFL 2K.
Oh wow,
You
yeah,
know, I'm a big football fan, and they just made the best football games ever. I mean, it's sad that they're not doing it anymore, but
dude, it's so sad because now Madden has zero competition, so they're
yeah,
garbage.
and they like if you watch on YouTube like the Dreamcast football, and it was so advanced for the time. Blocking, you could see the guys block. They would the hands are in the right spot. Just unbelievable.
You could do first-person football in that game,
Yeah,
and freaking, you could have your own crib.
yeah, that
Like that game was
console is
dope.
so good, and it's freaking went out of business.
Yeah, man, it sucked.
It's
All
only
right,
COVID.
so 360.
360. You know what comes to mind? Now, there's so much that 360 had, but
I know.
I'm going to say something that it always comes to my mind, and the feeling that I got like when I watched it was, um, I'm not going to say Halo because Halo really, I could say Halo and everything, but Fusion Frenzy.
Oh yes, I have that installed on my Series X right now.
I love that.
That game is so good, and it's so small that I just keep
So
it on
small.
each system that I get.
Yeah.
But that level, the spinning level that you have to jump and duck and jump and duck.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. That is by far my favorite one. That and probably the gladiator ball where you have to like run people off of the
Yeah.
edge.
I remember the colors and just the concept, and I was like blown away. Now in the 360 era, obviously Halo 3 was probably my most memorable moment, but just that Fusion Frenzy was like, I think it was a launch game too.
I think that was original Xbox though.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So,
said 360.
okay. Well, I would have to say for 360 Halo 3.
Okay.
I hate to say it, but it is the most memorable. I remember when I was I'm sure you remember the board where you take the chopper and you start going, you're sending up, and you take the Pelican up, and you were just like, wow. But yeah, Halo 3 for me.
Yeah, like I said, me and that Matt Lex game guy, we literally went through every Halo We started with Reach and went all the way through
Yeah, see,
5.
that's the big problem is that people like yourself and a lot of people are they played co-op first and they did it, and that's the way they remember game. That's why I don't think Halo Infinite, not to go off the course, but that's why I think Halo Infinite will not like be a 90 Metacritic, because there's going to be people that dock at least 5 points because there's no co-op at launch.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. That is a good point. I'm gonna have to talk to Matt about that. he's
Yeah,
gonna be butthurt about that, but he's gonna
ask
have
him
to
and
agree.
DM me and give him his answer, because it is something that I like. I know people, and I know some people say it. I'm not talking about the non-haters, like the real big Halo fans are like, I always enjoyed it with playing. That was my thing. We played together.
Yep, that was my thing too. When I went through Legendary on Halo CE, it was in 4-player, and it was unbelievably fun and unbelievably hard. We were dying all the time, but it was so much fun because we just didn't care. It was 4 of us going at it, and it was just kind of like, I hope one of us makes it to this next checkpoint. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna ask 2 more systems now.
Sure.
So actually 3 more. PS4.
PS4. God of War.
Okay.
That's what I think of. I think that was the system. That game was that cemented Sony's dominance. It was just crazy.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then I'm gonna bring it all the way back to PlayStation, the original.
The original, wow. Twisted. I'm pretty sure Twisted Metal.
Yes. I was waiting for you to finish that statement.
With the stupid clown. I don't understand why Dave Jaffe game. I don't understand why that game was never remade in the right, like, next gen, or it had so much potential, and even that game had so much potential. I just felt like it just never.
They stopped it, I think, right after PlayStation 2. Like, they just cut it off.
Yeah, but I could even see, like, Dave was hinting at it, and he was super excited, but I don't think anything happened. But if they had a Twisted Metal next gen, like, that'd be really cool. Like, those games I love those games. Smash them up.
Well, yeah, it's just a complete, just fuck around kind of game.
Yeah.
I feel like Sony tried to test the waters with that. What's that game that came out earlier this year that was just not good?
Oh, PlayStation All Stars.
Well, it was Destruction All Stars. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Destruction All Stars, and like I played it, and I thought it was like I felt like I was just like. When it first came out, I was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" And like I hopped on Twitter and I was like, "Oh, this game's pretty dope." And then like a couple days went by, and I was like, "All right, like I can't do this anymore."
Yeah, short-lived.
Very short-lived. Unlike Forza, like Forza forever, bro. Like right now, where it stands. But okay, the last one I'm gonna ask is. What's currently out right now? Series X.
Forza Horizon. it's honestly.
Is it just because I just got done saying something about
it? Because I think that Forza Horizon, and we talked about this pre-show, like it's a rebirth. This is what 360. There was no moment like this in all of last generation.
Nope.
Nothing came close. None of the games did this. Think about it. Gears 4. Okay, Gears 5 was on Xbox One X, had Ultimate Edition for free, so you got the early access, and you didn't hear anything about numbers. that meant that it didn't, it did okay. It did better than 4. But Forza Horizon took a step that few games take.
That
Whether it,
no Xbox game that has took, right?
yeah, well, exactly. So this is for a long time. This is Forza Horizon. The franchise now has put itself within the talks of Halo. Minecraft. Obviously, Minecraft is bigger because that's just at a certain level. But what I'm saying is that like the numbers that Forza Horizon 5 have already done are numbers that I would think Halo would do, Infinite would do, and be happy with that. Like that's how insane Forza Horizon step. It took a huge step, and I do think it's going to win Game of the Year because I think that the public and everyone they caught on to it. Sometimes games just they get absorbed by it, and people just for whatever reason flock to it. And Forza Horizon 5 did that. You're going to talk about probably 7 million gamers, players in 1 week. That's crazy. And that's just like out of nowhere. So I didn't think it would do this. But like I said, I don't remember a time as good as it is right now, already in this generation, as Sony, Xbox had all last gen. All last gen was a struggle for Xbox, and I just feel like this right now really knocked them on their asses. Like holy crap! Like this is crazy, and we still have Halo. You know what I mean? That's the real kicker. It's like just exactly what you said. Well, when we were talking about it, you're like, I want to see what Halo now does. Like, it
Mm-hmm.
has a big number to hit.
Yeah, man. I'm not sure if Halo is excited or sweating after what just happened with Forza because like I
Nobody
mean
expected it. I don't think anybody expected this though.
I know damn well I didn't expect to see one with 6 zeros in it while I was playing and the game wasn't even out yet.
Yeah, same. Yeah, we don't buy games. Well, 1.4 million for early access and or $100 edition.
That's crazy. I mean, that's a lot of money just for
A
before the
lot of
game even
money.
comes out. And now that the
Well,
game's out, like it's on like the top charts of like
yeah, it's beating
the
Vanguard.
it's insane.
It's beating
That's
Call of
insane.
Duty. Like, who would have thought that?
Yeah, that doesn't happen. Like so people so I don't think
Exactly.
people understand the magnitude of that. That doesn't happen. Like Call of Duty is usually like top and
Easy.
it doesn't really move. Like it's weird. It's like Call of Duty,
Yeah.
Madden, 2K, like those yearly games for some reason are always on the top of the charts. But yeah, it's really amazing seeing what we got now because it just feels like it's just the beginning.
Agreed.
But moving on, that was pretty fun. A whole lot of answers and a whole lot of talking right there. What genre do you not mess with at all? Like that, like you ain't touching it.
What's the Demon Souls genre? Games like that, like where I have Demon Souls, but Rand always tells me you'll hate it, and I'm afraid to play it. Like games that are super hard, and like people get off on how hard it is. Those are the ones that I don't mess with. So like
Yeah,
you're talking about any of them. The new one that's coming out, the Elden Ring. I'm not touching that. But
I
I
was
do
thinking
like
about it.
JRPGs though, but I just don't like whatever Sekiro is or what it's like those super tough, you know, grind out games where you can die. If you die, you have to go all the way back, and your progression's not saved. Like for me, those drive me nuts.
Yeah, I was playing Hellblade, and I was terrified to die, and I ended up finding out that it didn't matter the entire time. Dude, I was kind of angry when I found that out because I was on my toes for everything in that game, and I think that was the point of it. They wanted you to like feel like you were trapped.
Yeah.
And they got me. They got me in 4K, like people say. They got me in 4K.
Watch in 4K.
Yeah, for real. But all right, so yeah, those games you don't really like. But let's go back to the positive area and let me ask you what is the best 3 games this year. And I can, and I've been telling people you can go as far back as the launch of the PS5 and PS4. What are the best 3 games, and then what is the game of the year out of those 3 games?
Okay, well, I'm not going to include Like a Dragon because that was before, but that was my game of the year last year, so we're going to put that out of there. I do have a game that I played that's from last year and was up for game of the year, but I'm going to put it in this realm. So I played Hades. Absolutely love the game. Played it almost exclusively on xCloud. Tremendous game. So that's one. Then I have Resident Evil 8, which loved it. I don't think it's as good as 7. Definitely a contender for my game of the year. And then, I mean, I can include Forza Horizon 5, but it's like kind of early, so I guess we can't. I guess it'd be, I'm not gonna include that. So I'll switch to. We're talking about the launch. Trying to think. Well, I guess maybe I will include Like a Dragon, and I would say because that was a big part of my experience with Xbox Series X was I played it. You know, I put in 100 hours on that game. And I would say that I'm not gonna include Forza Horizon because I have to play it more. I love 12 minutes. Absolutely adored 12 minutes, but I can't say that was my game of the year. But the concept was great. Flight Simulator is unbelievable, but you know, I would say that it's just a little bit too complex for me. I like to play it.
I played that on Oculus for a little while. That was fun.
My god! But
that was insane.
Yeah, very impressive. But I would say for me, for the console, I would say Like a Dragon is my game of the year so far. But I do feel that Halo and Forza are very stiff competition because those are like Halo's my game. Like I will like if it's good and I'm scared it's not going to be like I'm nervous the campaign's going to be lackluster, but I feel confident it's not. I feel like it's going to be good, but like if it's good, forget about it. That'll be like my game of the year by far. I love Halo. I love the you know the world, the lore and everything, Master Chief. So, but overall, we're excluding those two because there's not enough time. Like a Dragon, like I said, if you on Game Pass, you can get it. It just was the story was amazing and pretty much game of the year for me. I'm trying to think of other games like I played Artful Escape. You know, I played Far Cry 6, some of that. I wasn't big into Assassin's Creed. I thought it was good, but didn't like grasp me.
It didn't grasp me at all. I got bored after like 10 hours of it.
Yeah. So I would say that, you know, the good old JRPG Like a Dragon.
Okay. All right, I got you on that one. So you were going around in circles on that one for a little.
Well,
bit.
I mean, it's tough. I wanted to give you like, trying to think of all the games that I finished and that I really liked. Resident Evil 8 was like great, but I just don't feel like it wasn't as good as 7, and it definitely, it's up there, but just it kind of falls short.
All right. So on to the next question. This might be a quick answer for you. I'm not sure how much thought you put into it, but what's your favorite studio and what game represents them the best?
My favorite studio is We Are Playground and Forza Horizon 5.
Oh my god. All right.
But that's a long history. I used to have, just quickly, Bungie was my favorite. And then they left. And then I still like them, but I just don't like Destiny that much. And at one time, the developer for Max Payne was like, I love them. Not Rockstar, it was Remedy, right?
I
Who was
thought it was Rockstar.
No, Rockstar bought them out.
Oh, so when did they buy them out? Because I thought Rockstar had to do with the first Max Payne.
No, they bought them. I'm pretty sure they bought out Max Payne on 3, and they own the IP. I don't remember.
Oh, wow.
I loved Remedy though. They were great. But right now, yeah, I can't believe what We Are Playground has done, and just graphically how they just kind of like a perfect studio at this point for Xbox.
Right now, they're the shining light. That's for sure.
Yeah.
What some people may call saving grace.
I agree.
But moving forward, what's the most excited, or what game are you most excited for in the next year? And I have a feeling, since I follow you on Twitter, I have a feeling I know this answer. But go ahead and tell whoever's listening.
Well, I'm not gonna say Halo, but I'm gonna say the Starfield.
Yes, I knew it. I knew it. Because you'll just randomly post.
Yeah.
Just start.
Right, yes. I am definitely really looking forward to that. Space, Elder Scrolls, forget about it. Like, I don't think they could screw that up. But, and there was just comments recently made that they definitely, looks like they're going to hit the date, or they really feel confident that they will.
Yeah.
Like Elder Scrolls in space and just what they're going for, that's like totally up my alley. So, and I think it's gonna honestly be it's gonna be a huge exclusive for Xbox.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see more about that. I want them to kind of open the box on that and show me what, I mean, obviously they're not going to do that at 20 because they already said they're not opening up anything new. They're going to do it at E3. But yeah, probably at E3 because it's, still several months out. Kind of like, Forza was at E3 and everything. Mm-hmm. And E3 was just banging this last year for Xbox. Yeah. I was really happy with it. Dope. So yeah, I'm super excited for Starfield. I probably would have guessed that. Not guessed, but I probably would have said that one for sure myself if I was being asked that question. Just because, I don't know, there's something about that mystery of me not knowing what it is that makes me so excited for it.
It's just something about it too, like, it's just space. It's just, Elder Scrolls. It's, it just seems like they can't go wrong, or they have so much potential for a great game.
Okay, so this next question right here is going to be pretty fun. And I'm going to ask you real quick. If you were to revive 2 games, what would those 2 games be? And it has to be, I'm going to put the stipulation on here. I don't make everybody do the stipulation. But you've been playing since Atari, so I ain't playing this just a couple years ago BS with you. I want you to dig in your bag and tell me what game you really think needs to be like not remastered but remade, like in and out.
Okay, so like for me, BioShock has to be. There's supposedly a game, thank God, being made, but that game, that world, if you wanted to even do like a remake now of the first game, and just like make it super graphic and remake it like they did Final Fantasy VII, I think that would be amazing. But even for a sequel, you have to have that series. That was to me one of the most fun experiences in a warped way. The world takes you in, whether it was the Rapture or the last game was so freaking good. The end was so good. So the BioShock series, and I had thought about this pre-show because I had the questions, and I mentioned this before. Max Payne.
Oh yes, you got me.
I want that. Again, you could make I don't really like remakes because I don't like playing the game twice, even if it's once if it's polygoned and then once if it's unbelievable. But if you make a whole new engine and you freaking do Max Payne again, the first one with the freaking baby, like those are the games that really set a precedence, in my opinion, in a lot of ways. Special series, special games, Max Payne and BioShock.
This is off the radar randomly, and this has nothing to do with this question. I love those two answers, especially the last one you had with damn, why is it right off of my head already?
Max Payne.
Yeah, Max Payne. Yeah, dude. I still remember vividly walking the baby's blood, and then, dude, that was so messed up.
The baby crying.
Yeah, dude, it was awful, dude. I was so young when I played that game too. And I played it on PC, dude. It gave me nightmares.
I wonder if they would even be able to do it now. They'd probably be like, game taken off because too graphic.
Right, yeah, because that was extremely bad, dude. It was so bad. But what I was gonna say that's kind of like off the books is, if I were to add, if I were to want like something remade, or in this case, it doesn't need to be remade as much as it just needs to be added. I would like to see like a Midnight Club dub edition mixed with Forza Horizon 5. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Right? Wouldn't that be insane?
No, I mean that's if that's Forza Horizon 6, I'd be freaking jumping for joy.
Oh my god, yeah, dude.
I mean, people want it in Japan. I don't know. I'd be okay with it being in Japan. That's gonna look great too with the neon lights and stuff. But if they could also change it to just like I've always said that the Midnight Club and the Project Gotham Racing, that's Midnight Club though, yeah, that was a great game, man. I can't believe that brings back memories.
It's so similar to Forza in the way that you can drive around the town though. Like you can just screw off, go off at ramps and everything. When I play Forza Horizon 5, I get like Midnight Club dub edition vibes.
Yeah, wasn't there destruction too? Like your car would blow up.
I believe. I'm not sure if your car blew up, but I knew that like you could like, destroy. Right? Yeah. You could like destroy it and whatnot.
Good call though. That is a good call.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of people say they want Project Gotham Racing. I don't know. There's so much they're gonna have to do. I hope they do some crazy stuff in DLC. You got the obviously the DLC, so you're gonna get it. It's supposed to be 2 expansions. I don't care what the hell, because they don't usually stick to the same theme as Mexico or whatever it was. They went to Legos. They've done a bunch of stuff, But if they could do a freaking something like that, oh my god, that'd be great.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, dude, I'm stoked to see what kind of DLC they come out with for that. But I grinded the Midnight Club game the same way I'm grinding this
Wow.
Forza games. I just love that like high speed and get around quick and like just do things that you can't do with a real car.
Yeah.
But you could do it in dub edition on 24s or
Yeah.
like 28s actually on 28s. It was insane. But moving on, this is kind of back towards a little bit of a little bit of a negative question because it'll kind of ruffle some feathers possibly. But what frustrates you about gaming?
What frustrates me about gaming?
It can be anything. It doesn't have to be.
Well, I mean,
anything in
obviously,
particular.
I don't. I'm gonna like. There are things that I think they're working themselves out. I do think that there was a lot of bullshit hate for Xbox, and I do think that people really put the screws to Xbox last generation, and I kind of feel like they even kind of like took it a little too far. So that's why I'm so happy that like Xbox stood up and kind of threw it back in their face and shut up a lot of people. But that part I kind of feel like is now we're in more of a we're past that now. Like Xbox is just getting praised and it's getting its due, and that's really what it always should have gotten in a lot of aspects. I think Xbox does a lot of good, and yeah, they deserve to be criticized here and there when they deserve it. And I'm the first. When I thought something wasn't right, I brought it right to the people at Xbox, and sure enough, we got results and things worked itself out. It could have went bad ways, but overall, I think that the people at Xbox really are good people, and they want gaming to be great. And it's the whole console war thing is kind of like stupid, but I do feel like I said, there was a lot of negativity, but that seems to be fixing itself now. And as far as what I don't like, what I don't like is that I feel like a lot of games with developers they try to just take they take a game concept and they copy it and they reskin it and they try to sell it a different way. I kind of feel like there is a little lack of creativity in the industry in that aspect, that people just like try to take one concept of gaming or a game that was successful and throw it out there in a different way. Like, no, that's not what I want as a gamer. I want something like 12 minutes where when you play, this is stuff that you've never done before or seen before or conceptualized before. This is new stuff.
That game was rough, bro.
Yeah,
I beat the hell out of that game, and that was.
I'm still playing that, and it is. I would say if I finished it, it could have been my game of the year. But I still have a lot. I'm pretty far into it, but I still go back to it. But I kind of feel like, but the game itself, that's a creative game where I feel like in the industry, as I said, there's too many times where these developers, and it's not most likely always on the developer, it could be the publisher that gets involved. They want sure bets and they want, to take as less risk as possible. And that sucks because when you have a developer that's kind of like, his hands tied like that, it's not good. We should let developers, and we should be open to new types of games, new type of game concepts. We should be open to stuff like with Sega, what they're talking about, different kind of games utilizing cloud technology that can make things different. It's like the old argument, like why do we always have the same mechanic? We blow up a random crate and I loot something from it. Like, how many times over, how many different games are you going to see that where something could be just simply done differently and have the same type of same type of you know outcome, but done differently in a different way that makes it different. And that's my only thing. I kind of like feel like there's too much copying and too much, not enough risk taken. And I think that it should be encouraged to kind of take risks, do things differently, and hopefully that happens.
Definitely. Definitely hope that does happen because that does get kind of old. Like for me, like in looting in games, like when I'm opening up a crate, like it feels so typical in a game where
All
I'm
the
just
time,
like,
though.
like especially when I was playing the Division 2, like I was losing my mind opening those crates in that game. Especially when you go to re-ammo, sometimes he'll just sit there with like the crate open and just
Yeah.
be staring at it, and you have to exit the crate, and it just drove me insane in that game.
Yeah.
But it's very similar, and I hear what you're saying because I don't know. It feels like there's only like two or three different mechanics for picking up new things. Either you have to run over them, or they come to you, or you open up a crate. Like that's like the majority in most video
Yeah.
games, and
The
it's all
smash
the
in the
same.
crate is like the most obvious one. You
Yep.
know.
I swear they've been doing that since before freaking
Oh yeah.
Crash Bandicoot, man.
It's
Just
true.
smashing crates for stuff. But anyways, here's a fun question. Um, yeah, let's go positive. What's the dream come true in gaming for you, my man?
For me personally, it's tied into my name, xCloud. I really want to see a game that brings to life what Crackdown 3, the original showcase of that, like the destruction. I really want to see, games in the cloud or that's using that type of technology, doing things that we haven't seen before and doing them on an epic level, whether it's 1,000 player multiplayer, where it's native multiplayer games in the cloud, um, or some of the stuff that Xbox and even Stadia teased. One of the things about Stadia's reveal I loved was they talked about all this stuff, and for me that's awesome because I've been gaming since the onset, and I want to see something new. I want to see, something push the limits. I mean, people say, "Well, why don't you use VR?" VR. I don't like. I understand that, but that's not the experience that I'm looking for. I'm looking for large scale skyscrapers blowing up and having things 1,000 particles in the air.
You want to see some Hulk
50,000.
kind of shit going on.
Yeah, I want to see some real crazy destruction, even if it's like a game like Rampage Online or Rampage Cloud. I don't know if you remember the game Rampage,
Yes.
where they were just smashing buildings. I would love to see something like that utilizing cloud technology. That's why I'm very excited about the Sega Sarah Bond deal that just came about. I think that's what they're going to be gunning for, is using games and using different types of technology in the cloud.
What's the difference between that deal and the deal that like PlayStation has with Azure?
Well, PlayStation's basically renting the servers for their own usage. This deal is basically Sarah Bond's deal. She makes games. She's like the GM of games, and basically they're going to collaborate. From what I've heard and I've asked about this stuff too, and I got some firm answers. They're looking to make a super giant game using cloud technology, other games using technology that Azure can provide, that can really enhance gaming experiences. Um, and I guess we'll see when it's done. So basically, the Sega deal is making games probably going to come to Game Pass, probably be multi-plat too. So they'll come. It's not going to be exclusive, probably come to Game Pass day one though. That utilize new technology in the cloud and that type of tech to enhance gaming, whether it's cloud compute, whether it's servers in the multiplayer servers in the cloud, dedicated, or stuff like that, where they have advantages that they can use with the cloud. Versus with Sony's, just basically they're getting the servers, they're using the Azure cloud for their own back-end stuff, and when they're gonna push out what they're pushing out. And I think you'll start to see that next year, the fruits of the labor of that deal show out on with Sony.
Okay. Yeah, that was really interesting answers. I'm excited to see where that leads, because right now everyone hears, xCloud, and it's kind of like, what is it really exactly, other than streaming games? So I mean, I feel like a lot of questions will be answered once things start to roll out a little bit more.
Still far away though.
Yeah,
still far away.
What I'm really excited for when it comes to like xCloud and whatnot is, are they still on track to bring cloud gaming to like Xbox One and the One X and stuff like that, to be able to play on console? I'm already able to play it currently on my Xbox One, but are they going to open that up to everybody in December, like assumed?
Yeah, I think that's the plan. Yeah.
Man, I'm excited for that, because I was playing Scarlet Nexus on the cloud on my Xbox, just because I just wanted to show my lady a song, because it sounded really similar to a song she was listening to while she is working. She works from home. And I was like, hey, you should listen to this song because it sounds just like that. So I turned on the game, and then she listened to the song, and then I started playing the game. But anyways, I didn't mean to start playing it, but like, it was just that accessible. Like, I didn't have it downloaded on it or anything like that, but it was just so accessible. I was like, I'll throw a couple minutes on it. I already beat the game twice, so I was like, let's throw down a little bit. But it's really cool to see where gaming's coming, because I remember having like a Sega Nomad, and I thought that was like the coolest thing in the world. I thought that, and that thing is still cool to this day, because it takes full size Sega games in the back of it, but like, it doesn't compare to nowadays, and it's just insane. So moving forward, I got just a couple more questions. One of these last questions is, what do you enjoy outside of gaming?
I'm a big sports fan, big Mets, Giants, Knicks, MMA, boxing, you name it. I love it. I follow it, know a lot about it. I'm on radio shows talking, like I talk like I think this will follow up to one of the future questions, but like, I'm not only just about video games, put it that way. I'm really passionate about baseball and Mets.
Aren't you a Jets fan?
Giants.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, but
I thought you were a Jets fan.
Games. Well, I go to Jet games because my friend has Coach Club tickets, and basically it's like a $800 ticket, and he gets it because he's a broker. But it's just an awesome day. You just basically go right in and you eat unbelievable food, and then you go right outside the side. You're right on the sidelines, literally. And I go to a lot of Jet games. I'm going this weekend, but big Giant fan.
Oh, okay, good. How are you feeling about the Giants right now? Because I'm pissed. I'm actually a Giants fan as well.
I was very pissed after the Chiefs game.
I'm just not a Daniel Jones fan, dog. I can't do it.
At this point, I started giving up on him too. I
I
would
was
give
mad
it
when they
either.
drafted him because I was going for, I was like, get Lamar Jackson, get Lamar Jackson, get Lamar Jackson. And they
Yeah,
got
they
Daniel
could have
Jones. And I was
get.
like, no.
You know, they were one pick away from getting Lamar Jackson as the second on the second half. I was saying they got Will Hernandez, if you remember, but Lamar Jackson went 32. So I mean, yeah, I wanted I didn't want Jones, to tell you that much.
No, man.
But
I thought he was
I'll
like, he was okay. He was good at Duke, but
the
like he
problem
wasn't
with
that great.
him is that he locks in on a receiver and he doesn't know how to play off of that. He's very if the he
Predictable. Fuck.
predictable. He locks in. He's athletic. I don't think he'll ever become much. I don't think he's going to be a star, but we'll see. I mean, I'll give him one thing. He's never had a full complement of players, and he's going to get that this week, next week against Tampa Bay.
Is Saquon coming back?
I think Saquon's coming back, and I want to see what happens from there because to me, I mean, a lot of people take shots at him, and I love Saquon. He's my favorite ball player. I think he's still awesome, and I just want to see what happens if he comes back, and that could really help a quarterback if you have a type of running back like Saquon.
Dude, his
So
injury was so close to being super gross.
yeah, it was so stupid too. The guy clipped him,
Yeah, just
but
barely.
whatever. Yeah, I know. But he's. I heard he's. I heard they think he's gonna come back. But yeah, I'm a big sports guy.
Yeah, me too as well. That's a thing I've always loved. My brother went to to the University of Notre Dame, and I
Nice.
got to play as him in video games, so that was really cool. Like that was one of my big thing about video games is being able to play as my own brother
Yeah,
in the game. That was crazy because he's
that would be
13 years
good.
older than me.
That's great.
But okay, okay. So that pretty much answered my next question, which was what's something fun that no one really knows about you? You like
Yeah, that's
sports. You're a big sports guy.
I like call on radio stations. I call WFAN, and like we're doing a podcast. They know me, Tim from Hicksville. I've called Steve Summers all the time. The jokes around, and I mean, I'm a big Mets fan, and you know. I'm very passionate, like I said. So that's kind of the thing. I also ran a football team at one point. Played football. I was very into it. We played at a high level too, like on flag, with like the top people, and we played pretty high level, like I said, college level players and stuff like that.
Yeah, people don't know that flag football can get wild, bro. I played in a
Yeah,
league, dude, and you get people like trying to run each other over, like trying
yeah,
to play regular football with flag on.
yeah, yeah. I know it.
It
I
ain't
used to play
it ain't a
center.
bunch of sissies like people think. It is grown ass
No,
men,
I
like.
remember blocking Eddie Gordon, who's Eddie Truck Gordon. He's in the UFC.
Oof,
That's the type of guys that I had to try to block.
that's awful. That
You know what
is
I mean?
not good.
And I was snapping the ball too. I was like, oh god, this sucks.
Yep, I'm gonna look up and see this dude.
Yeah.
All right. Well, very last question for you. I do this with every single episode. Describe gaming for me in 3 words.
Ultimate fun experience.
Ultimate fun experience. All right. I like that. And with that, I'm going to have to thank you, Tim Dog, for being part of my show. I really appreciate you putting some time aside and coming on to do this with me this evening. Very happy with that.
Well, you're a gentleman, and the show is great. Very good questions. Like I said, your handling of the whole thing is really good. I wish you a lot of success in this, and just stick with it. Like I said, and I'll be on again. I'm sure that we'll be doing podcasts together down the line.
Yeah, man, that'd be
Uh, you
great.
know, and maybe we'll play some Halo or something online. You can destroy me there.
Or better yet, Forza. Since that seems to be the buzzword this entire conversation. It feels like we did like an hour's worth of Forza talk.
You know what though? That's honestly that's the way the whole entire internet's been too.
Yep.
You know, just people like it's just crazy. I honestly never seen anything like it. So.
Yeah, for sure. It's in a league of its own at this point.
Yep.
But anyways, yeah, thanks for being part of the show. You guys that are watching, like and subscribe for more content. This is your boy Ham Solo with Behind Them Sticks. See you later.